Today we have to talk about how Bitcoin is pumping massively. So Bitcoin, I'm shocked at the point that this is going to get, but this is going to be a beast this rally. We are going to do extraordinary numbers. We're going to talk about that today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice. Let's get straight into it. So look at our prices currently inside Bitcoin. So we're at 115K. So Bitcoin has literally uplifted the market from its downtrend. So I guess Bitcoin decided to bless the market right now. Everything is now going up. We're up 100. We're up 1.4% in the last 24 hours. 4% in the last 7 days. So we have been making a comeback here inside of Bitcoin. The market cap, just within the last 7 days, you can see has went from as low as 2.19, 2.19 trillion dollar market cap up to where it's now at a 2.3 trillion dollar market cap. So that's a lot, like billions, hundreds of billions of dollars has just now entered the Bitcoin market. So we're going to see a lot of nice pumps coming in for the market. Bitcoin dominance now down to 56%. So we're seeing the Bitcoin dominance is now getting less and less and smaller, which means that we're going into altcoin season. So definitely pay attention to that as well. So yeah, but let's talk about Bitcoin's pricing because Bitcoin, I'm of the notion that Bitcoin is going to reach 150 to 100, well, anywhere from 150 to 200K this cycle, okay? Anywhere from 150 to 200K. I'd like to stay in the middle around 170, but I think 150 is still like that level, right? Anyways, let's go over this. So, Cointelegraph says Bitcoin price can hit 160K in October as MACD crosses, as MACD Golden Cross returns. So, Bitcoin has seen a key golden cross for the first time since April. Last time it flashed, Bitcoin price gained over 40% in a month. So Bitcoin sees a repeat bull signal from its MACD indicator, which last came in early April. Price then climbed 40% in a month, which this time would give Bitcoin a $160,000 price target. US macro data is quickly making traders short-term bullish on Bitcoin. So that last point is a good point because we actually have some data coming in for the US. So let's put this at the daily chart so we can see it easier. You see, we have this first thing, which is the consumer sentiment, which is happening today, September 12th. Then we have retail, the month over month retail sales on September 16th next week. And then we have the Fed press conference where they're going to give their interest rate decision on the 17th of next week. And the 17th of next week, as you can see here, is on a Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we're going to end up seeing, on Wednesday of next week, we're going to end up seeing Bitcoin do something big, whether it's going to be a big move to the upside or downside. But we're going to talk about that. Let's go over this some more, though. So as they're saying about it reaching 160K, they're talking about the golden cross that they're seeing inside of the MACD. So Bitcoin may perform worse in September, which we know that everything is typically bearish in September than any other month on average, but this year could form a major exception. So yeah, and if we finally cut rates, we can definitely see Bitcoin taking off, right? MACD, which compares price action across shorter and longer term timeframes using two simple moving averages, has offered bulls a reason to celebrate. So on Friday, the MACD crossed above the signal line, which is a 9-period exponential moving average of the MACD line used for buy and sell signals. So I guess that signal was just now hit. I said this has a positive implication for short-term price action, but this latest cross is even more interesting. So as you can see here, this is what they're talking about down here. This is when the MACD crosses at the bottom and then it makes its way back up to the upside. So we should be in for a nice pump, a nice rally. And if you see here, they're looking at the daily chart, right? They're on the daily chart for Bitcoin. And if you look down here, we are also on the daily chart for Bitcoin here. So if I pull up the MACD, let's go in full-fledged view here on the MACD. You can see this is the cross that they're talking about. See, we've just now entered into our bullish momentum that's similar to this rally here, right? And this is the rally that they're talking about in April that we had. So this is a massive bullish indicator. And then you can see all these green candlesticks here buyers are coming in to buy this up, and sellers have not stepped in yet. So we're inside of a good spot here inside Bitcoin for the near future. So that is pretty bullish for Bitcoin, right? And then you have the percent R trend exhaustion. The percent R trend exhaustion shows the trend for the uptrend and the downtrend, right? So it shows where the trend is more likely to go. The white line indicates the short-term trend, and that's what we're seeing here. And the blue line indicates the long-term trend. Notice how the short-term trend has now reversed into an upward momentum as well as the long-term trend. So they're both heading upwards now. So we are now officially back inside of an uptrend for Bitcoin. Obviously, it could be invalidated if we get some bad news next week when we go through the Fed meeting. If they don't cut rates, that's going to be bad. Or if they cut rates and then it turns out that the market has already priced in the rate cut, and then we get a crash from there. So we could get rug pulled, we could get bull trapped very easily. So we have to be very, very cautious inside of this market. But yeah, that is what they're talking about, and they are right. It does look fairly bullish. They're predicting that we go up 40% because this happened back inside of August or inside of April. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go all the way back to April. So let's go ahead and pull up the weekly chart here. And for the weekly chart, let's go over here to April. Actually, let's do it on the daily chart. The daily chart will probably look a whole lot better than the weekly right now. So let's come over here on the daily chart, and then we will look at for April on the daily chart and see what exactly they were talking about here. So we can go ahead and take the date and time range from the bottom here in April. And that was all the way actually when it crossed, it was more so around this area when it finally hit that cross. So we'll still do it from the bottom though. So they were saying they had 40% inside of April off of that cross alone. So that cross alone, I would say even stretching into May, it was a 48% rise. And yeah, that was about 48% even when you're going into May. So yeah, I think if we were to do something like that, 48 to 50% wouldn't be too far fetched. So let's go from 115K up to 40%. So at 40%, that's about 163K. We can come up here to 48%. That would bring us around 168. Well, no, that's actually about 170K at 48%. So that's the level that I was actually targeting. That's the level I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So yeah, I think that we should be seeing a nice big rally inside of the market here very soon. So we could see on the daily chart, Bitcoin's looking bullish on the daily chart. We looked at the other charts. We also looked at the weekly chart over here. The weekly chart is slightly bearish, but inside the short term, like since it's the weekly chart, short term for the weekly chart can be a few months, right? But what we are seeing is that we did have that reversal a little bit to the downside, but now you kind of see the long-term trend is reversing back upwards as well as the short-term trend. And see, the thing about the percent R trend exhaustion, this is a pattern that we've been following, right? We've been following this pattern to a T. We go down a little bit and then we go up and then we get bull trapped and then we go all the way down. We go down and we have the actual pump, and then we go down a little bit, we get bull trapped, and then we go all the way down. We go back up, have the actual pump again, go down a little bit, go up again a little bit, get bull trapped down, and then we're back up at the last rally for this run, right? That's kind of how I'm seeing it right now. So just like how we got bull trapped here, there's a possibility that Bitcoin also gets bull trapped somewhere in this area. So somewhere on the way up, pretty much we're going to have a nasty pullback somewhere else on the way up. That's what it's looking like. And if we follow how we've been doing since the beginning of 2024, if we do the same thing now, then we're going to see a nasty bull trap more than likely. So we got to get prepared for that. But yeah, the prices here inside of Bitcoin are going to get stupid high. So be prepared and stay diligent inside of these markets. But yeah, this is what I got for the weekly chart. Let's get off the weekly chart now, though, and let's go ahead and hit the 4-hour chart. So here on the 4-hour chart, we are very much overbought. So first of all, the percent R trend exhaustion on the 4-hour chart very overexhausted, overbought. It's about to curve downwards and it's about to have a downtrend. Maybe this is the bull trap that I was talking about on the previous chart when we're looking at the 1 week chart. Maybe that could be the bull trap before the actual rally. So we have to pay attention to that because the 4-hour chart is showing us the signal that it could, or there could be a slight little small pullback followed by another massive pump. And that could happen here as well. Slight pullback, massive pump, right? That's what we could also have here as well. So the MACD for this is bullish. So we're seeing sellers are stepping in for the MACD, but it is still looking bullish. We are still inside of the bullish rally. Even though we're seeing sellers stepping in, we can still see more massive gains coming for that, right? So that's pretty much what we're waiting for on that note. Now, coming over here to the hourly chart. So let's pull up the hourly from here because we already did the 4-hour now. So on the hourly, way overbought, way overbought. Yeah. I think we're going to have a slight pullback here in the market. So even though we're pumping right now, we should have a slight pullback. Very much overbought. It's technical indicators are showing us that we're going to have a pullback. So just looking at indicators, we're going to have a pullback, right? Last time this happened was September 3rd. So what happened on September 3rd? Whatever happened on September 3rd is probably what's going to happen next. So on September 3rd, we had a pullback. We hit resistance up here at 112K, and we had a little bit of a pullback. And that pullback wasn't too bad, from 112K to 109. So we're not going to have a big pullback, right? This is just going to be a little small 3%er, right? Like that's kind of what it's looking like. If we went down 3% from these highs up here, let's take it from the high all the way down. Yeah, that would go exactly down to our Fibonacci retracement, our Fibonacci support. So that actually lines up perfectly. If we do pull back, we should be stopping at about 112K and then continuing the rally. So that's if we do the same thing that we did on the 3rd. So yeah, Bitcoin's still looking bullish. Like the prices that we're going to see are going to be absolutely insane. So you're going to have to be ready for that. Anyways, this is all I got for you all today. We broke out of this channel and now we are pumping. So anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. I do videos like this every single day. And every single day I've been tracking this and we've been following this. And I knew eventually it's going to come out of this trend. I didn't know whether it would be at 104K or if we would break 104K and go to 99K, but it's looking like we didn't go all the way down to 104 and we just broke out of the channel and we just went bullish from there. So all is well. But yeah, this is all I got for you all today. And as always, I'll be back with another video.